So, me being the night owl I am, I have been watching the Canadian House of Commons, which, well, I'll just say it's riveting. And at the very end here, something actually interesting has happened. It's amazing. I'm just gonna let it play, and it's pretty entertaining. So we'll talk about it after.
Mr. Speaker, I have a point of order. Mr. Speaker, I seek unanimous consent of the House for the following motion.
The government to put the complete abolition of the system of supply management on the negotiating table in order to facilitate a new NAFTA agreement with our American partners and bring down the prices of milk, poultry and eggs for Canadian consumers. Yes?
Does the honourable member have unanimous consent of the House to move the motion? No, there is no consent.
No consent, indeed. I just thought this was funny. Obviously, Max had zero hope for this passing. He brought it up for the reaction he would get from people in the House of Commons, and I think he got the reaction he basically wanted. If you explain basic economics to people, you'll understand that supply management is not good for consumers. It's good for two groups of people. It's good for the people who are implementing it indirectly, and I'll explain why for them after. But who it's really good for are dairy and poultry producers. The people who are actually producing eggs, cheese, milk, chicken, turkey. They get protection from competition from America, and in return for this, they throw some money to the politicians. This is basically how politics works when the government has control over the economy. So, anyone who has done the minimum amount of research to understand this knows that it's pretty unlikely that supply management benefits Canadians as a whole. It benefits a small group of people, and their benefit can be transferred to people like Andrew Scheer and people from the Liberal Party. But, if you want what's best for Canadians, you would get rid of it. Max knows this, and he knows that he can explain this to Canadians, because Canadians as a whole are not stupid. They're misguided at the moment, for sure, a lot of them, but a lot of Canadians agree that supply management is basically just harmful for the majority of us. And for some reason, the Conservative Party has denied this fact. They believe that Canadians will believe them when they say that supply management is good for them. So they're going to stick with it. This is why I say we have three choices for the election right now. We have the Liberals, who are more or less out-and-out socialists. They're also quite Marxist in that they want to see the world in a binary struggle for power. And they want to see it as the oppressed minorities and LGBTQ people against the oppressive patriarchal, white society. This is what they want, and this is how they want to frame the world. So you've got them who are basically just, like I say, out-and-out socialists. Then you've got the Conservatives who want to say, no, we aren't socialists. No, we're not socialists. We like supply management, we're not socialists, because we totally have your best interest in mind. Believe us. And then you have Bernier with the People's Party of Canada, and he's saying, no, this is bad for you. I can explain exactly why it's bad for you, and I don't think that it's terribly difficult for people to understand why it's bad for you. So, instead of bullshitting you and trying to lie to you and say that it's good for you, I'm going to admit it's bad for you and say we should get rid of it. Also, even if it were a good thing, it's not worth just ruining our trade relationship with America. That's just silly. 20% of our exports go to the U.S., which is kind of a crazy number. But again, it's our biggest trading partner by far. So why would we risk why would we risk that much for a small group of people? It's insane. So not only is it bad for consumers in itself, it's bad for Canadians overall, because if it's what we keep in exchange for losing NAFTA and an actual free trade agreement with the U.S., how is that even close to worth it? So, Max is just going to keep beating this drum because it's a fight he can win. It's really quite an easy fight for him to win, actually. The problem for him is that this isn't the fight that he really needs to win. He needs Quebec to vote for him, and he needs Ontario to vote for him. Ontario did just go blue, fair, but they're probably just going to vote. Well, I don't know where Ontario is going to go, I guess. I was sure that they were just going to vote for Trudeau, but I don't know. They like to Doug Ford, so maybe they won't. Anyway, I just thought this was pretty funny. The reaction he got is pretty hilarious. Just he put something on the table saying, this is why we need to get rid of this. This is why it's better for us to get rid of it. And it's pretty obvious that he's correct, and the entire House of Commons just laughs at him. Pretty despicable display from our elected officials, but again, what do you expect? Anyway, that would be it for this one. Hope you enjoyed like I did, and if not, well, I'm sorry. Have a good one.